checking out our show. If you are watching live on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the show. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, like our other fine chief Heron Heads, Matias, Chow, and Mari V, you will find a link in the description wherever you are listening. You'll also find a link to our Discord server and merch store. So if you're interested in either of those, you can also find those in the description. But we are previewing the Inter Miami match against Chicago Fire. And Dave's making funny faces, so...
I don't know if they're going to see us right now. Because I'm looking, I have it on my phone, and it still has the countdown for when the show's going to start.
I don't know if they're going to see us right now. Because I'm looking, I have it on my
phone.
Guys? I think they can see us.
It just started now.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Right. How convenient. Anyways, Inter Miami take on Chicago Fire tomorrow.
No,
not tomorrow, Saturday. And yeah, there's some news about some particular players on our roster, but we will dive into that in a minute. And how's everyone doing tonight?
To confirm, this is the second time we play them. I know we just mentioned how many times. It's the second time we play them this season. So, familiar foe, and it's pronounced Shaqiri, Jose. Oh. He's not on here anymore, but just out of conversation.
What do you mean, Chris? That comes out of nowhere. What are you talking about for our listeners?
He's not even playing this week.
You didn't know how to pronounce his name. You asked if he was still playing. We said no. You said, how do you pronounce his name? So
there you go. Thank you. Well, I'm feeling very good, Julio. Thank you for asking. Very nice of you. I have a lot of stats to fire off, but I won't do it yet. Right now, we're looking at a $55 entry fee. So something to keep in mind if anybody wants to get out and catch a game. I'm excited. We saw Messi just like practicing out with the team. That's something we've been waiting for with, the number one ranked, the number one in the standings Inter Miami team, right? Just
that's right. That's
sprinkling Messi. Just why not? Not right now. We're not sprinkling him right now, but in general, just like in talk. In practice.
Are you gonna go to the game, Jose?
I want to, but the Canes play at 3:30, so I cannot.
It's also in Chicago, so you wouldn't be able to.
So there you go. If you want to go, it's $55 though. How about
that? Wait, so you looked up the entrance fee and didn't know where?
I never said I did it. I never said I did it. I was just saying what it costed. Assumption all around.
Oh man, that's funny.
I'm feeling great. By the way, thanks for asking. I know
you did ask.
Julio asked a little bit ago. I feel good, and yeah, I'm excited to get another game in. It's been, I know this is the new norm of weekly fixtures. We kind of got spoiled with fixtures coming in hot and heavy for a while there, and now we had to wait. But you feel good, and then the key news is that Messi is practicing, so that of course adds a little like a little boil to the blood. It gets the heart pumping, and I'm excited to see what may come of that. I know there's some reports on whether or not he's going to be available, when he's going to be available, what he's going to do, where he's going to fly, but we'll talk about that all together.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this team, man. They're rolling right now. It's the young guys are stepping up big time, and this is a new age for this team. I mean, we haven't seen Messi in over 2 months now. Luis Suarez still doing his thing here and there, Jordi Alba, Busquets, but it's the young guys that are carrying the team right now, and it's an exciting time to watch. Before, young guys wouldn't do anything, pre-Messi era. So it's great to see them take the next step. They brought in the right pieces into this team. Tata, knock on wood, has been doing a pretty decent job as of late. It's all kind of clicking. So this should be a good match against Chicago. They're not the greatest team. They're not the worst, kind of middle of the pack. And man, I'm ready to go. It should be a good one. It should be a win, but it should be a good one.
Tata good, Toto bad.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So, Jose, what sort of fun little statistics do you have for us?
Before we get into the statistics, I was reading up before we got on. It was something that Tata had mentioned recently, where there's actually clear what he said was there is a obligation and an expectation to win the cup, and it's he said that he followed up with saying that it's funny because like in MLS, wait, I think that's wrong. I think he's wrong actually, but that's fine. I'll let you guys talk about it. He said, I don't think there's anyone else in MLS history that's ever had the expectation that we have to win the cup, and furthermore, to not get it incorrect, I had played in Atlanta. I had coached in Atlanta where we had two possibilities of winning the tournament, but never this pressure to win it like I do now. What do you guys think about that?
I think LA Galaxy is probably a team that maybe not right now in the
I'm
form.
saying-
This year they're good. The past few years they haven't been that good, but I think they've been a team historically that's expected to win often.
When they had
So-
Beckham, right? When they got Beckham,
I mean, they've had multiple stars on that team, multiple eras. So
but
it's
if
probably
you
the
watch-
closest. It's probably the closest to what we have right now as
if
far as
you-
expectations.
If you watch the Beckham documentary, you don't understand that it was actually extreme pressure. That's why I totally I was like, "You're wrong. That's not true. That's self-serving. Because if what happens if it doesn't happen, right? Maybe he feels the pressure. But to be honest, I mean, that does come with Messi. That does come with bringing Luis Suarez. That does come with Alba. That's what he shared. So it's not just bringing Beckham, right? It's bringing a whole cast of La Liga players that just came in and like, yeah, we expect you to come out of this with a few trophies, right?
You didn't think it's Zlatan too? Like it wasn't just Beckham. Like they've lured others too.
That's what I'm saying. They've had a few
Yeah.
high level or big name stars on their team too, so they felt the pressure before. They felt it. I don't know if they've had the amount of stars that like Miami has right now, so maybe that's the biggest difference at one time. But yeah, I agree to some extent. It's not a bad take.
And also, like, all due respect to David Beckham and the craze that was around him, like Messi's just different, like echelon, right? Like at the end of the day. So even if the fanfare may be comparable to when David Beckham and there was just like paparazzi and like just mobs of people, very similar to like when Messi does any sort of traveling. I think from a skill level standpoint, the talent that's accumulated on this team sort of as a byproduct of that, the expectation is win everything. And on top of that, we've lost a couple competitions. So now there's even like more emphasis on MLS Cup specifically and Supporter Shield to an extent. But I think that also just strengthens how much pressure there is on the MLS Cup specifically.
And it's funny now with the Galaxy, how they've had a better team now, right? Like all around, like we're gonna be facing some rough competition to get to that to get those cups. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a given at all right now. Just did you guys watch Royce?
Yeah, Marco Royce coming in for just a couple minutes and he was able to get a goal and an assist, working really well in tandem with Ricky Puig. So it is something to keep an eye on, but luckily it's on that side of the fence, really. They're on the west side, so we're not really too concerned with that. So we'll deal with them in the tournament. When we see them, it's gonna be at the end. So
You're right, David. We will deal with them. Totally agree.
Yeah, I think both conferences have like three very distinctly good teams. I think on the East you have Miami, Columbus, and Cincinnati. And on the West you have the two LA teams and Salt Lake. And I think those I mean, obviously they'll weed themselves out, and then we would only have to worry about one of the West Coast teams, obviously. But yeah, the Galaxy are putting together a good team. I mean, all the teams that I just listed off have the potential to go toe-to-toe against us. So all we can do is play whoever's on the opposite side of the pitch. And just so happens to be Chicago this weekend after we took down Cincinnati last weekend, one of the teams that I just mentioned. So one of those any given Sunday type deals. And I think on like a match-to-match basis, regardless of who we play, we're going to have more talent, especially when Messi's playing. So I'm not like concerned about how we match up against any of those teams, because especially when Messi returns, which it seems like he is getting very close to returning, I think we're notably better than any of those teams.
Those teams have to worry how they match up with us. Like that's at the end of the day, that's how we got to look at it. We're never looking across the aisle and be like, how are we gonna match Alba with it? Like no. That's not how we work. We set up ourselves how we see fit, and then everybody else has to adjust. And then that's where the issue comes with Tata is when the other team then does something to counter us, the halftime, the mid game adjustments, that's where Tata has to really step up. And he hasn't shown that very often. He's done it before, but not on any consistent basis. So that's where we're gonna need help from him in the playoffs when we do see Columbus and we see whoever comes out of the West and things like that. I think I don't think Cincinnati is what they were last season, so I don't expect too much from them. I know they're one of the better teams in the East, but I don't think they are what they were last year. So I think Columbus is really the one team in the East that's really going to give us a hard time. And then in the West, like you said, those three, the two LA teams and Real Salt Lake, those are the ones that can really force his hands at mid game. But again, Columbus's head coach, I think he's so smart and he's such a good tactician that he's going to be the real obstacle for us in the East.
Speaking of the East, we are currently 8 points ahead of Cincinnati. And well, in the MLS in general, we're 4 points ahead of the Galaxy right now.
Yeah, so look at that. So there's
And
two California teams.
I was going to say, is there a game in hand?
Two Ohio teams that we're worried about.
Galaxy has a game in hand, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think so.
The Galaxy has a game in hand, and we have the same amount of games as Cincinnati, 26.
Yeah.
It's a fun run now. Fun run coming up.
Yeah, as I stated in the post match of the Cincinnati, I think we have definitely like a hand on the supporter shield. There's obviously work to be done. There's games just like Saturday's match against Chicago that could trip us up. They played us pretty tough last time we played against them, so nothing's a given, obviously. But we have like a foot in the door to the supporter shield, and I think so long as we continue to play mostly how we've been playing, we'll be fine. Obviously, we're seeing some worrisome habits pop up with the defense, but I think on offense, we're really starting to get going. There's some good fluidity going with Gomez, with really with the midfield. Redondo, Bright has been so good, and as we mentioned in the recap, the move of Busquets to the back line it's really made us more dynamic, which is so interesting to me because I felt like Busquets had to be in the midfield for him to be able to maximize his potential. But by moving him back, it's actually opened us up more because of Bright and because of Redondo and because of all these other players.
Because of Martinez. The addition of Bright brings that defensive play in the midfield that Busquets brings, and he can use his mind to really help him from behind. And then David Martinez playing consistent, and the athleticism that David Martinez brings really does cover for Busquets in that physical aspect that he just doesn't have. So I think the addition of it's like if you don't have David Martinez and we're forced to have Toto back there or Christoph, that's a humongous liability, even with bright play.
We're gonna have Toto though. Most like in the way that we played last time, it's gonna be similar to like how I think we're gonna play this game similarly to how we played the last game, where it's gonna be 5 in the back. We're gonna have
Toto won't play because he has a red card.
Okay, so maybe we don't do 5-3. Okay, so if we have Christoph, let's say, and on the other side we have Sergio in the middle, and then we have Martinez. First of all, we didn't have Martinez the last time we played Chicago, and we didn't have Gomez either. We had Robert Taylor with a yellow card, so it's one of those things where we had Robert Taylor. I had to throw a yellow card, whatever. But it's one of those things that we're gonna have a new dynamic. We're gonna have Gomez in there, and yeah, we're currently. We did well. We won 2-1. Jordi Alba dominated the game. He had a goal. Rojas had a goal, and yeah, 2-1.
I also feel like we played better than the scoreline sort of signifies. We had the late goal. That was the Alba volley, if I'm not mistaken. That was like right after Chicago had scored to equalize.
Yeah.
But we outplayed Chicago. We just weren't finishing. And we're finishing now. Like, to me, that's not necessarily so much of a problem. I feel like we were sort of searching for goals back then, and now we're playing much better. And the addition of Gomez is such a game changer for Inter Miami that I think that makes a huge difference.
He plays
That
way better.
Chicago game was that stretch of games that all our goals were coming from the defensive side. We weren't scoring any goals up front. So yeah,
Yeah,
we've changed. We've changed
Rojas-
since then.
Rojas, I think, was playing wing that game because we actually played Gresso. We
Probably
played
playing left
Gresso.
wing.
Yeah, because we played Gresso right wing and Rojas left wing.
And he's as good as Rojas has been. He's been kind of
No.
a fish out of water in that left wing spot.
Yeah, and just to keep in mind, I understand everybody keeps saying that, particularly Shoes. Don't underestimate Chicago. I don't disagree, Shoes, but at the same time, the last 4 games, they've lost 3 of the last 4 games, and the game that they just beat NYCFC, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen NYCFC. This Martinez guy is a baller. He was killing it in that game. I was just watching the tape versus Chicago and NYCFC. I was like, wow, this Martinez guy, I like him. But yeah, they won. The reason why they tied the game was because of a handball in the box at the end in the 90th minute +5. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, like it didn't. It was like it was such a lucky bounce that I was like, all right, they should be on a 4-game losing streak, and they got bailed out. So I am thinking while we should underestimate them, I think we should also stomp on them because it's right now the way that we're going. There's no reason why we don't win.
And end of the day, Chicago's last 10 matches, they're 2-2-6.
I mean,
yeah, we're a better team.
Did you know? You know?
Yeah, well, you know,
they're in statistics, at least they're bottom feeders on most of the defensive statistics. So they're in the bottom third, I would say, of the team of the league. So yeah, we should underestimate any team really, because we know our track record. We could just lose these random games, but I mean, they're pretty bad, Bob. They're not great. The defense is not good. I haven't looked at the attacking stats yet, but defense not good.
Gaston Jimenez is someone that we have to watch out for. We have to put him in the Mukhtar doghouse. Yeah, we can't let him get wild because he did have a very good game against us in the last time we played them. Gaston Jimenez. He had a 7.8 match rating. He's their captain. Yeah, we need to put him in the doghouse. Him, and then when we play Galaxy, just put Royce in there too. I don't care who he is. Put him in the Mukhtar doghouse. I don't care. We'll rename it the Royce doghouse. Well, that
Royce, Marco Royce.
Royce.
Yeah. I don't care who he is. Put him in the doghouse.
I'm not even playing you. It doesn't matter. Go to the doghouse.
Fleas. He's gonna get fleas.
That doghouse is getting quite big.
Yeah,
putting a lot of people in there.
We have to buy a pound.
The Mukhtar pound house.
Did you guys know? Did you know we have a interesting week that has come out this week? The biggest news that has come out this week. Do you guys know what it is for Inter Miami?
Afonso's having surgery.
That sucks, but no, for a hernia, correct?
Yeah, sports hernia.
Terrible. Next, Julio.
The
biggest news in Inter Miami this week.
I mean, it's got to be Messi back at training.
Is that what you think, David?
Sure.
You guys are all wrong. The new official global training partner is Polkadot.
That's right. Do you think that's why Messi was back at training, so that he could show off the logo and they immediately get all their value?
Sir. Absolutely. Now you get it. Now you see where I'm going with this. That's it. That's all. I'm not going with it anywhere else. That's right.
Okay. You just wanted to.
What is Polkadot? Do you know what Polkadot is?
I want to say it's a crypto. I want to say
really
more crypto things.
I want to say it is.
We don't learn down here.
Well, if they pay right, who cares?
Until the checks don't cash anymore.
Well, that happened with that guy, and then he for the Heat, and then he went to jail, right?
Yep.
I got you guys. Don't worry. I use the old Google machine here. Polkadot is a digital platform.
Oh, you designed. What do you guys think it is?
No, What? No. Polkadot is a digital platform designed to build a more inclusive and transparent internet where power. This sounds very crypto. It's very crypto.
It is crypto because I remember when we all did crypto. I did crypto. I did crypto. I put $5 in it, and I saw Polkadot was one of them. I remember. That was it.
Also, it was launched by Ethereum co-founder Gavin Wood.
ETH.
So how about that?
That's right.
ETH. You're so in it, Jose. So
It's so
trendy,
big.
man. So, all right, let's talk about Inter Miami. How are we going to line up? We sort of talked about Toto's going to be absent from this match. So, do you guys think that we still line up with a 5 at the back or 3 at the back?
I think we're gonna go back old school. We're gonna go 4-3-3. I know it's been a while, but man, we're so successful with that, and I want to see it again. And I know when you go 4-3-3, you have tough decisions to make on the midfield. Make some damn tough decisions. Let's go, and let's have really good subs come off the bench. There's no need to play all these guys all at once. You could keep it coming, like keep a firing squad coming in one after the other. Once somebody starts getting a little tired, boom, another really good player comes in. Like we have the capability of doing that. We just don't do it. So
You know,
give me
Tata
the
won't
play.
sub to like the 85th minute.
Yeah,
I know,
what are
but
you talking about?
maybe that's the changeup that we need to see from him.
He's not gonna do changeups. He does fastballs up the middle, and he gets hit home runs, and it doesn't matter. Another fastball.
And he keeps doing them.
He's like, I'm gonna throw it faster.
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't watch baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah, so I think if it depends, right? We have two choices. We're gonna either do the 4-3-3 or the 5-2-3. The 4-3-3 is what we did the first time we played the Chicago. Well, the last time that we played Chicago Fire, we won. We had success, and we had Sergio Busquets, and we had Toto. So maybe you switch them out and you do a little Sergio with Martinez. And it was literally the same back line. You just take out Toto and you put in Martinez. And you had Chelo on the right. You had Alba on the left. They put Bright, Redondo, Gressel, Luis Suarez, Rojas. That was what we did the first time.
So this comment by Upcode, this is why I don't think, and I'll read it now. This is why I don't think they're gonna go 5 in the back. He says Tata's going 5 in the back, Boosie dropping back. Only question is if he starts Frey in place of Toto.
He hates Frey.
I don't think he wants to start Frey at center back. I still haven't really seen the want from him to do that. So that's why I want to see. I kind of want to see the 5 in the back, just because Chicago's a lesser team. We saw something good with Boosie back there with 3 center backs, but I don't know. I don't see Frey starting. Toto's out, so that's why it's kind of leading me to believe it's going to be that 4-3-3. To be honest.
When he made the changes, though, when Toto got that red card, Frey did play in his place in that right center back position.
And we were up 2-0.
And
we were up 2-0.
But it was beautiful.
Maybe
Yeah,
I don't know if he wants to start him.
He and Frey playing is beautiful, and we haven't seen him play in
Exactly
7 matches.
him and his headers,
We're all crying for him to play, and the guy doesn't play.
This is what I think right here. Tata will start Noah Allen before letting Frey start. 100%.
I was gonna say it at the start of the show, and I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if Noah Allen gets.
And I think we're gonna play 5 at the back with Noah Allen, Busquets, and Martinez, Chelo at right wing back, and Alba on the left. Midfield of Gomez and Redondo and Bright, and then up top we'll have Rojas and Suarez.
So then Noah Allen will be playing next to Chelo. What a nightmare!
Don't even think about it.
No, Martinez. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No
Martinez
logic
has
here.
been playing next to Alba, so
Yep.
Allen will be playing next to Chelo.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
We've never seen him at right center back.
Which is why we shouldn't see him.
I don't think we'll see that.
I'm just looking for a reason. That's it. You can't do it.
Or maybe Martinez will play right side and Allen will go to his quote unquote natural left center back role.
His natural
the
center of the bench. Please stay there.
Oh man. Yeah, so I do think we're gonna go 5 at the back. I hope that Frey is the one that comes in. Maybe Christoph comes in. I like that. To me sounds like a nightmare, but there's a possibility that it's Christoph, Busquets, and Martinez. And then I genuinely think we're gonna go 5 at the back. I think it worked really well. I think given the amount of midfielder by trade type players that we have, it makes the most sense to maximize the overall talent of the squad that's on the pitch.
That'll be ideal. I mean, we need to see Frey out there at some point. He has, I know they're scared about his injuries, but at some point you got to start playing him. And
There's got to be something
maybe.
else.
Because he started
He
a couple
doesn't like
games in a
him.
row.
He doesn't like
How
him.
can you not like the guy? Every time he goes out there, he produces. How can you not like that guy?
There's got to be something that he's seeing in training, or some idea of his that he has of how he gels within the system that he's trying to deploy that makes him not want to start him, because it can't be the health to this extent, right? Because there's games where he doesn't even substitute him on.
All right, let's not do this where what do you think Tata's gonna do? Let's do this more so like what would you do, right?
I mean,
because we don't know. The same thing. Yeah, because I really like what Upco says. I'm gonna be able to say Frey gets the call. I agree.
I think we all do.
Yeah, like if we just have the 5 in the back, honestly, I know we don't like it, but it really looked pretty in the last game. The last match when we unleashed the 5 in the back, we had let's say we have Frey, we have David Martinez, we have Boosie, and we have the 2 wing backs there. Just they're not backs, they're wing backs. Even if it's 4 in the back, they're wing backs regardless. So and even when we had 4 in the back, we would still have Boosie playing in mid and kind of dropping back anyways. You know what I'm saying? So it's logical. The question for me is, are they going to put Ingresso or are they going to leave in Rojas? That's what I'm thinking now, because it's like, okay, like I don't know. I've been a little like whatever about Rojas lately. I don't know. He's not bad.
Every time you forget he's there, he scores a cracker from midfield. Like that.
Good. I forgot him again. Do it.
I don't mind seeing a healthy exchange between Gressel and Rojas. One game yes, one game no, or a couple games here and there, because they've both been producing to their own ability lately. Gressel's been on fire, Rojas has been on fire. So to be honest, I don't really care. I like to keep their legs fresh and just keep on rotating them. I think they're doing a good job rotating those two. I think they got to just continue that pattern, however they want to do it. But I think they both have to be out there at some point, and I think that's the best way, just to be rotating them out.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, if we're talking about who do we want out there, I think it's a 5 at the back with Frey being the 3rd defender, or having Frey in place of Chelo in a traditional 4 at the back. But we'll see. Tata might pull something crazy out of his back pocket and be like, "Oh, Gressel's going to start at right wing back today," and then everything we just said goes out the window. So it's always hard to tell.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. I mind it.
Listen, you'll mind it more if you see no Allen. Enjoy.
Yeah, that would be devastating.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
So let's just talk about the person that's on the thumbnail. Messi was back at training. He practiced with the squad. It seems, and this is unconfirmed, but it seems like he will maybe travel with the team, but will not be playing. It doesn't seem like there's a chance that he's going to play, which I think is the correct move. There's absolutely zero reason to rush him back, but it does seem like he's really on track to rejoin the squad, maybe as soon as next weekend, as in not this game against Chicago, but the next, or potentially 2 weeks out from now. I think those are all very reasonable returns for him to then get a couple games under his belt before the playoffs really come upon us. But very exciting. Messi's close, man. The fact that he's on the training pitch, the fact that he's not just doing individual drills, I think is a huge step forward. And it's exciting, man. It feels like forever.
We have including this weekend team, we have 8 matches left. When do you think would be the right time for Messi to come in and get his feet wet? They can't just wait for the playoffs and play him at the playoffs. They can. He needs some time with the team.
I think.
How much do you think that is for Messi? 2 matches, 3 matches?
So I think more important than it being for Messi, I think it's more important for Tata to figure out, okay, Messi's going to play. So it's where does Messi play and what players are we putting around him? Because Messi can rejoin the squad, and realistically by the end of a 90-minute match, we'll have figured it out and been like, okay, well, I'm back to doing what I do literally better than anyone else in the world. I think it's more important for Tata to get a couple games to work the squad around him, because like I said, it feels like forever. We have actual changes to who's available to us for the squad since Messi's last played with us. There's Martinez, there's been Gomez sort of, getting his form underneath himself. Gomez, I think, was hurt before Messi left for Copa America, as was Redondo. So, like, those players weren't available last time Messi was available to us. There's been a lot of changes that Tata's going to have to figure out how to reintegrate everyone seamlessly, because we have a pretty good thing going outside of Leagues Cup. We've had a pretty good run of form here. So it's going to be really interesting more for Tata to get some games. I would say at least 4 matches to really understand, okay, Messi's going to play in a 4-3-3 as the right wing, and we're going to do this midfield behind him, and I don't know, Gomez as an example on the left wing. I think that's more important than how many games Messi needs, because realistically he needs less than 1.
Yep.
Right. No, we
No,
need
it's a
to
great
make
point.
sure we need to make sure that the team, the way it's playing, it continues form, and not have just the reliance that we had prior to him getting hurt and prior to him leaving to to play with Argentina. Before all that, we were kind of dependent on him, right? Like our whole offense was just like, okay, well, let's kick it to Messi and see what we can do. Whereas now it's we're not trying to even win the possession anymore, right? Like we're becoming a team that is very into counters. We are a team that when we press high, we honestly have some pretty good success. Now, the pressing high with Messi may not be the case anymore. Honestly, that's not his style. So now we have to find out, how do we mesh our style with his style.
Yeah, to an extent, it's good. I say it's good. It's been beneficial to the team to have this spell without Messi, because it's allowed the rest of the players on the team to understand, okay, I understand the system. This is how we can play. We have some confidence in our own abilities to be able to create offense and generate chances. And now you're adding just a machine back into the fold, and theoretically he should just further facilitate the chance creation. But at the same time, there is sort of almost like a reflex that you have to depend on Messi. You have to almost force
He's the best
balls
player.
to him.
He's the
Yeah, of
best player
course.
there in
Of
the league.
course. And so many young players on this team, right? Like there's a lot of pressure, whether it's real or not, that they feel that they may have to play everything through him, where right now it's much more free flowing. Again, that's why I think the games are so important. It's for Tata, it's for the other players around him to relearn how to play with Messi, and also sort of manipulate how we're playing now and integrate Messi, because it's significantly different
to match his style. Yeah, you're talking about the things that we were winning before. Was what we were winning the 50-50 balls. That may not be the case anymore, guys. And I don't know, because what did we have before? We had Gressel. Gressel's a pit bull in that sense, right? We had Rojas constantly went after loose balls. Gomez is constantly going after loose balls as well. So it's one of those things where we can't lose that also, because that kind of shaped the fabric of what got us on this run as of late, right? Like, and we've grown to love this style. To be honest, we love it. Now, did we love the Messi style? I still liked it, because I thought he was brilliant. He's a magician. It's fun to see what he'll pull out of his hat. But I feel like if you could integrate both styles, man, we would.
I was gonna say you could do both. They're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah,
While
I think you
Messi does press in spurts. He can do it, and that's what you're gonna see if he has the
That's what we do.
opportunity. If he has the opportunity to do it, absolutely he'll do it. And when we have the most success is when they do it in the corners, and you can really kind of box them in, and that's where we've seen them really turn the ball over and score pretty quickly. I think you can't put it beyond Messi to not do that. Like he can definitely do that in quick spurts, not prolonged periods of pressing. That's not going to work for anybody, even without Messi. But I don't think that's going to be an issue. In fact, it's great that they've shown that they can do that, because it's just something else that our opponent has to think about. Like, yes, we've shown now how we can score, how we can do this, how we can do that, how we press, how we defend, how we maneuver ourselves without Messi on the pitch. So now you add Messi, and that Messi alone is just so much attention focused on him, so much worry, and now you also have to worry about all the stuff that you've seen on tape that Miami can do. Come on, adding him is not going to be a problem. The problem is not having that Messi pendencia that we've seen in the past. We've all mentioned it, and that's the one thing that we really have to like strive to not do.
We just
Because
haven't seen it.
if we play our game and just add Messi's talent to that, oh my god, like these games are going to be so much fun to watch.
I'm so
You
excited
know,
to see that.
the other thing that's going to be different, Jose, that we're going to be able to kind of like what David was saying, mesh the two. I don't think Messi's played with Bright. Bright started to come into play about a month and a half ago or so. Messi was already out. So his style of play, I think, is going to work very well because we're going to still be able to be those pit bulls that you're talking about. You're going to still be very aggressive, and you're still going to have that finesse, that magic that Messi brings up top. So I think that's really going to be where we're going to be meshing out a lot because we're still going to have Gomez, we're still going to have Redondo. You're adding Bright into here, and you're bringing Messi back. I think that might be the recipe for success here to mesh the two.
And what's also really nice is you now know that we can play Messi 70 minutes, and even when we have to substitute him off, you know that this team is still capable of doing something without him.
Amazing.
So you don't have to overwork Messi as you reintegrate him into the squad and tinker for the remainder of the regular season. You have a little bit of flexibility.
I can't wait for Tata Tinkers now, huh?
It's going to be interesting. I think Messi's integration, honestly, like it's the best possible thing for this team, but at the same time, it changes so many players and where they might be able to play. You just have there's Rojas, Gressel. There's like redundancies that you start having to work with as you add Messi to the top end. There's like a trickle down that happens because of it. So it'll be really interesting to see the actual tinkering because it's necessary. You have to put Messi back in. So who comes out? How does that change completely, almost stylistically, how you play, especially on that right side? So we're a few weeks out probably, but it's getting close to that time, and it's exciting, man. It's been so long. It's been so long.
It's so fun to even talk about him again. It's been too long.
Too long. So let's tighten it up here. Let's tie a bow for Saturday's match. Is Dave Stradamus in the building to help us get this prediction off? He sure is.
He's always ready. He's always ready.
Ridiculous.
So
You've been practicing that in the mirror, huh?
No, just this digital mirror that I have here. It's looking like a beatdown, like Jose said earlier. Oh man, you took it off. I was so ready. So, like Jose said, it's gonna be a beatdown. We're looking at, I'm gonna say a 4-0 Inter Miami win in Chicago, which I think is even harder to do. Like last time I predicted a clean sheet in another stadium. I said I'd never do that again. I think that just having Messi on the practice field is gonna jazz these guys up so much, and they're gonna go balls to the wall, and we're gonna see a 4-0 game.
Clean sheet, baby.
2 in a row. Could you imagine?
Oh, Calendar the Great. I guess I'll go next because Jose is staring out into space. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win, Miami. I don't feel confident that they're gonna have another clean sheet. Just because, I mean, yes, Toto was out last match, most of the game with a red card, but Toto's not gonna be there. We may see Noah Allen, we may see Kristoff. You know how I feel about those two. So it's kind of it's creeping me out. So I'm gonna go with a 3-1. I think Rojas goes in and scores again. Luis Suarez gets his goal. And third one is going to be Gomez. Gomez needs one.
Where's Suarez?
After all,
Where's Suarez with that golden boot race? I'll let you guys look it up.
He fell behind. He fell
Where is
behind.
Like how far behind?
I don't know. He's not even top 3 anymore. I'm not sure.
All right, so I'm expecting a Hattie from Luis Suarez. It'll be a 3-1 victory. And yeah, we're gonna get slowly involved in getting him back into that race. You know, it's where he belongs.
So Chicho Arango is on 17, as is Christian Benteke, and Luis Suarez is at 14.
Top 3. So you're saying there's a chance?
Doesn't necessarily mean that he's top 3 at all. So,
He's not top 3.
Um,
Arango, Benteke, Buanga are the top 3.
just was such a bad assumption.
So you're saying
you
there's
didn't
a
say a
chance?
third one, so he must be top 3.
You know what is crazy? Messi is still in the top 3 for assists. He's second in assists, and he hasn't played in 2 months.
That is crazy.
Insane.
Jose, what was your prediction?
3-1. Hattie for Luis Suarez.
So you and Chris both think 3-1. I was also thinking 3-1, but since both of you guys said that, I'm gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna go 2-0. No, 2-0. Another clean sheet. Same result as against Cincinnati. I do think the dynamic of Busquets and Bright being the back line and the Bright force ahead of him, I do think that really makes things difficult for opponents. And Chicago's not scary at home. They're towards the bottom end of the table, even at home. So they don't necessarily scare me. I don't think there's too much to be worried about on paper. Obviously, in action, we'll see how everything plays out. But I think we're fully capable of continuing this clean sheet stretch here as we go from one game into another game with a clean sheet for the first time in a very long time. But I'm going to go with 2-0 just to be a little bit different. I wanted to say 3-1, but I couldn't be the third person on this show to say it. So I'm going to go 2-0.
Way to be bold. Way to be bold, Julio.
That's right. That's right.
What does that say? Someone put up a comment for like a millisecond to get done. Jesus. Says so Matias Rojas leaves for Messi.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's the biggest question mark. Who leaves for Messi?
I would say yes.
It could be a rotation. It could be a rotation. They have so many pieces that fit both at right wing and at midfield that they can do a rotation, and it's not just one guy who's always going to be off. You know, they can sub out Rojas. It'll be Gressel. It could be Gomez one day. Like there's different players that they can bring in and out.
Look, bottom line, it's do you want him? Okay, who do you want off? Is it Rojas, Redondo, Gomez?
Doesn't matter who I want off. It's
Or
who
Bright.
Tata wants off.
No, I think Rojas is the logical, especially of those options that you provided. To me, that makes the most sense. The others are so much more pivotal in the midfield, and there's the most redundancy between Rojas and Messi compared to the others, in my opinion.
And Tata loves Gressel, so he's definitely going to get into the mix, like you're saying, Dave. Where he just, I do believe they're going to do some sort of keeping people fresh. You know, not making people beat 85 minutes and then you know, God forbid, you know.
He should. This team is deep, and like Tata's lack or underutilization of the depth is really it's frustrating, and it's going to get us in trouble.
Rojas a number 9 upcode series says
Maybe
he played in the last game as next to Suarez as a 2-striker role. So he played.
I don't know. I don't know if he can be like a sole.
He doesn't look like a guy that I would look at as a number 9.
I think he'll get absolutely bullied if he plays in between two center backs.
And the way that Drake loves to loft it up in the middle of freaking nowhere to no man's land every single time. I don't know. Yeah, he kicks it and like admires
a hospital ball every time.
I just don't get it. He goes to no one, and then poor Suarez at 45 is there bullying the guy. I don't know how he still does it. He's there bullying center backs.
Got that old man strength,
bro. And he like makes space. He goes, you know, he pushes
he knows where to hit people. He hits them in the kidneys. He's like
bites their ear. So just constantly like putting him in that situation. I don't see Rojas doing that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
First of all, Campana, as big as he is, Campana doesn't do it, and he's bigger than Suarez.
I don't think he's bigger than Suarez.
And Rojas, you mean?
Yeah, he's bigger than Rojas.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, So Saturday the match is at
He's not bigger-
8:30.
He's not bigger than Toto.
That's right.
No
one
one's
is.
bigger than Toto.
No one is. So Saturday's match is at 8:30, not the usual
Unfortunately.
7:30 kickoff time. RIP. And we will be live afterwards. Chris, are you going to be available for the show on Saturday, Chris? We haven't talked about. I guess I'll make myself available, even though I'll also be out of town.
I'll be on a cruise ship, so it's very
maybe
difficult.
Dave and Jose will do joint party.
We
Oh,
might
God,
go to
that'll-
David's house.
That'll be mayhem.
Oh, maybe all three of us can get together.
I'm
no, you're gonna
going to be out of
He's
town.
out.
Damn it.
We could go with Hulu wherever he goes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Let's
where,
go.
where are we going?
Going to the Keys. Let's go.
Oh,
Jose's favorite place.
Ooh.
We can do this from the
I
Keys.
go there any day.
Yeah, for real. I have to go for work. I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. But we will be live after the game on Saturday with no pots and pans for me because I won't be at my house to get them. But you guys make sure to bring them because we should be celebrating a Inter Miami victory on Saturday, and I will be highly disappointed if we're not. Any closing remarks here, Chris?
Nope. Good to go.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for permission. All right, guys, to everyone that's still hanging out in the video, thank you guys for hanging out with us and chatting with us. We always appreciate the interaction. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. It helps us out a lot. And we will see you guys Saturday after the Chicago Fire match and hopefully cheering on Inter Miami victory. So thank you guys. Have a good night, and we will see you on Saturday.